Some rackets are old school and delightful. Some rackets are clean and crisp and beautiful. Some are ugly, and here are my top 5. Ben from PH Tennis here, and today I am taking you through the rackets that I think are the ugliest. Not the worst. In fact, little spoiler, I do quite like all of these rackets, but I don't like looking at them, and that's what's important today. Entirely subjective. Of course, some of you may agree, but most of you will disagree with these selections, I'm sure. It is not a criticism of a brand, it is not a criticism of how the rackets play, just the cosmetics. Lots of rackets are very, very nice looking these days, and lots are not so much. It's amazing how much difference you can get, and interestingly how much difference it makes to you. Sometimes you just want to use a racket because it looks really nice. We have customers all the time and players on court all the time who go, I'd love to use that racket, I just don't like the way it looks. And in some cases it's even the name people don't like. But most importantly, you've got to have something that you want to use. And these 5 rackets, despite being really, really good, I do not want to play with because I just think they're ugly. So without further ado, let's get started with number 5. In at number 5, we have the Pro Staff from Wilson. They call it Desert Bronze, but it's brown, and a brown tennis racket just isn't that good looking, in my humble opinion. The biggest problem though with the Pro Staff is, despite being a very nice racket, it's not quite as good as the old versions, and it doesn't look anywhere near as nice. There was a black on black version which was very popular, a black and white version which was very popular, a black and red, and you keep going back, you have those old school ones that Federer is using when he was tearing Wimbledon apart in the mid-noughties. That's what a Pro Staff should look like, not like this. So whilst this isn't necessarily an ugly tennis racket, it certainly isn't as good as a Pro Staff could be or has been, and that is why it is in at number 5. In at number 4, it is the White Out range from Celeno, a racket I absolutely love, but really don't think it looks very good. First of all, they called it White Out, and then it's not white, it's mainly grey. Doesn't make any sense. These little things, you see, they do matter. The other thing is that those bits of grey all over it just looks a little bit like a GCSE design project. For our American friends, GCSE is like a standard exam we do when we're like 16, so essentially not very good, not necessarily. Could have been done on clip art, maybe on the computer. I reckon if they made this look better, it could be one of the most popular rackets out there. Smaller brands usually seem to suffer from design issues, but they've made a fantastic racket. Do not let it put you off. This is very, very likely to appear in my top 5 rackets soon. It is really, really good. Just try and look at the ball, not the racket when you're playing, and you'll have a great time. Number 4, the White Out from Celeno. In at number 3, we have the Vcore from Yonex. Again, an absolutely fantastic racket. I'm holding the 98 in my hand. The 100 we use to test all of our strings because it is such a good all-round racket. I am 100% not criticising the Vcore. I am just criticising the look, and the look of this red version, and mainly because you could have this, and in my opinion, looks so much better. So this is almost a admission from Yonex. They always do this. They bring out a racket, and a couple of years later, you get an updated cosmetic, and it's nearly always better. So Yonex, put a bit of effort in next time. Make the first one look much, much nicer, and we're in business. So at number 3, it's the red Vcore, not the beautiful sand beige. At number 2, it's the Prince Beast, a racket we really like here at PH Tennis, but very few of us seem to like the way it looks. You can have it in this horrible orange or a horrible pink, it's up to you. The key thing to remember is racket plays lovely. It's nice and solid and powerful, easy to maneuver considering its construction, but just looks terrible. Much like all the other rackets, look at the ball, not the racket, and you're going to be much happier with your game. Just maybe a little bit more simplicity is the solution. Now I think there's a theme that's come across all of these rackets, apart from that Pro Staff, is they just all look a bit busy. Too much effort, trying to make things a little bit cleverer, and it just doesn't need it. Plain, simple, good looking rackets that importantly look good on a TV camera, because that's where the pros are going to be using them, and the Beast does not hold up well to that kind of scrutiny. At number 2, the very good but very ugly Prince Beast. At number 1, in my opinion, the ugliest tennis racket going, the Aero from Babolat. Whether it's the great 98, the very, very solid 100, any of the lighter versions, this racket looks terrible. I am showing my age though, I think. We've got lots of players who use this racket, and there seems to be a generational divide. They're almost all under the age of 25, so maybe I'm just too old and too set in my ways, long in the tooth for something that looks this mad. It's crazy busy, it seems like an absolute mess. Bring back the old yellow and black version. I think it was 3 generations back, can't remember, but there was one that looked absolutely fantastic. Interestingly, Ryan, our producer who's behind the camera now, he just bought that red Vcore from before and he's a little bit disappointed I put it at number 3. But the reason he didn't try this is because he says it looks ugly as well. So maybe it's not just me. As usual, let us know in the comments, but I've got to say this has got to be the ugliest racket on the market at the moment. Still good, woefully designed. There we go. So there you have it, my top 5 ugly tennis rackets. As I said multiple times, really important, especially if the brands are watching, I like the rackets, I just don't like the way they look. And that is my own personal subjective opinion. As I'm often reminded by friends, family and colleagues, I have terrible taste in almost everything. So I'm sure most of you will disagree, but look how good rackets can be. We've got lovely blades and speed. It is simplicity that seems to work for me. Nice, elegant, well thought out, clever design goes a very long way and makes rackets just more, I don't know, like you want to play with them. You want to pick them up if they look good. So the next time you're in a shop, do not worry. It is absolutely fine to choose a racket based on how it looks. You have to like the thing you're playing with. It makes a big difference. Tennis is fun, and if you're spending all your time using something you don't want, for whatever reason, that is absolutely fine. The other thing to consider when you're looking at the cosmetics of a racket is the grip and the strings you put in. Does matter. Some go really well with others not so much. White strings, black strings, clear strings are almost always good. And if you want to look like a pro, I suggest a white grip, but that does get dirty. You've got to change it a lot. But anyway, there we go. Thank you very much for watching. As usual, don't forget to like, share and subscribe so you never miss a thing from PH Tennis.